Hello there and welcome to CoreTV News on Hour at 4 with me, Sabeda Izuku. The popular Maman Kotangora building housing the Federal Mortgage Building in Marina on Lagos Island is currently on fire. The fire started early in the day and has spread to the 7th floor of the building before arrival of the fire servicemen. The cause of the fire is yet unknown as the firefighters have begun salvaging the situation. We'll bring you more on this in our subsequent bulletin. Away from that, the Orekoya's children kidnapped by the nanny Mary Akinloye in the Surulere area of Lagos State had been rescued and reunited with their family. They were reported rescued by the police last night, a family source reveals. Confirming the incident, the children's father, Leke, reveals that the children were undergoing medical checkup at a clinic. He, however, refused any comment if the 13 million ransom demanded by the kidnappers was paid. Exactly 1 year since the insurgents stormed the government secondary school in Chibok, Borno State, and carted away with over 200 schoolgirls like spoils of war. A few days later, a protest movement, the Bring Back Our Girls group say, sprang up in Abuja and some other parts of the country to rally local and international support for a rescue mission. But in spite of online and offline advocacies, as well as government assurance, the Chibok girls are still missing. Pai Samuel spoke with members of the group on the experience in the last 1 year.
For over 350 days, this group have sustained its daily sit-out at the Unity Fountain in Abuja in solidarity with the abducted girls. They resolved at the onset to continue until the girls are brought back alive. But 1 year after, none of the 219 girls is back from captivity. So how has the journey been for members of the protest movement?
We've done a lot of things over the time. We've sent the government instead of welcoming us so that we stand together and face our common enemy. The government decided to be antagonistic towards us. They decided to take us as enemies. We've had a situation where the president himself, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, has come out to call us psychological terrorists. We have a situation whereby hired crowd were sent in to beat us up, to break up our chairs, to break up the cameras that are around and collect phones, while men of the Nigerian police force stood around and watched us. We've had a situation whereby security agencies will call us Boko Haram cells, terrorist group. So we've gone through such a lot, but we said that we will not be intimidated, we will not be harassed out of demanding for the rescue of the Chibok girls. To demand for the rescue of the Chibok girls, we're not doing them a favor. It's not a privilege for them to be rescued. It's their right as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
This man is the chairman of the Chibok community in Abuja, and he easily recalls several cases of intimidation the group has had to contend with in the last 1 year. But he says neither the group nor the Chibok community can be intimidated by anybody. He rather wants the authorities to redouble their efforts at rescuing the girls.
Even as at on Friday when we were doing our march past, somebody stopped in his car that there is nothing like Chibok girls. I say, God bless you. So we will not listen to that, because we know that they are missing. And if somebody will come out and say that they are not missing, okay, that is his own ideology. Let him go on with it. But everything that you sow, you will reap even on this earth. It is not even hereafter. Yesterday when we were doing our silent protest, somebody was telling me that they are looking for money. And he don't know how much I lost within this year because of this. So that is all the humiliation that we have been receiving.
A key member of the Bring Back Our Girls group also remembers the many physical and psychological attacks of the last 1 year. But he says they are ready to continue the struggle until something is done to rescue the girls. It's only a few weeks to the terminal date of the outgoing administration, but he wants the government to redeem the pledge made to Nigerians.
Along the line, the government itself did not help matters because the government was very aggressive towards us. The government did not tolerate us. The government was not ready to listen to us. And therefore, that was the narrative it kept putting out to the public. And unfortunately, most of the public bought into that narrative. And so what we got was hostility. People were hostile to us, the government was hostile to us, the government institutions were hostile to us, the security people were hostile to us. There was a day we were even attacked here by thugs in the presence of soldiers and policemen, and they did not even attempt to protect us.
The incoming president, Muhammadu Buhari, is not certain the girls can be rescued soon, especially as their whereabouts is not exactly known. So, for now, the protest movement can only hope that the girls will not remain in the hands of the abductors for another year. It's been 365 days that the Chibok girls were abducted by Boko Haram. Governments have made several promises to rescue the girls before now. Within the year, security agencies also say they knew where the girls are. All this happened in the past 1 year. But the Bring Back Our Girls group says, despite the humiliation and intimidation they suffered, they still remain committed to the cause of ensuring that the school girls are rescued alive. From the Unity Fountain, Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
The Nigerian authorities have expressed commitment in finding the Chibok girls, no matter how long it takes. They, however, conceded that the talks may have to be that of the incoming administration. These are the thrusts of the message delivered by the government official led by the Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Michael Mary, at a press briefing in Abuja on the first anniversary of Chibok abduction. Members of the Chibok community, however, demanded to know efforts being made to rescue the girls, as well as rehabilitate the internally displaced people in the community.
We have a deep national commitment to finding the girls, not just finding the girls, restoring hope, ensuring security is returned to the communities that have been challenged by this curious action of people who are spreading catastrophic ideology in our land. Ladies and gentlemen, this national commitment requires total support. It requires dedication and understanding.
But you have my assurance that government is definitely doing something about finding the girls. I am not a security person, so I cannot talk about the strategy being used. And like I said, security issues, no man who is going to war, because this is like a war, we tell you this is what I'm going to do. No, it means you have let your strategy out. So let us continue to live with hope. We are all believers. We all have faith. If we go with the mind that nothing is being done or our children will not be found, it means we've lost hope. We've lost faith.
The situation of the kidnap of these Chibok girls has left the community at large very devastated. And today, while we're looking at our models, and the letter inviting us here says we'll be given some form of briefing as to the detailed plan to roll out on the Safe School initiative. We want to make it very clear that as a community, what we want to hear from government is what are the specifics steps government is taking towards the rescue of those girls. It's a pain that we live with every day. People have died. People are in very critical health conditions as a result of it. You can build a school, definitely. My niece was taken, she doesn't want to hear anything about school. The scar on her is permanent.
On judicial matters, the Supreme Court has affirmed that Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose was duly elected on the 21st of June 2014. The court turned down an appeal filed by the All Progressive Congress against the electoral victory of Fayose. A 7-man panel led Justice Sylvester Nguta unanimously agreed with the earlier decision of the Court of Appeal and Ekiti State Governorship Election Tribunal that the petition lacked merit. Basil Okafor has the report.
The legal battle to unseat the Ekiti State governor has been finally laid to rest. This is after the APC lost its third attempt to remove Fayose on the ground of alleged forged certificates and his 2005 impeachment after he won the June 21, 2014 governorship election. The Supreme Court, in its judgment, held that none of the grounds of appeal was proved by the appellant.
You can say that the appeal has finally, in this judgment, laid to rest so many issues that are not only relevant to Ekiti State, not only relevant to Dr. Peter Ayodele Fayose, but to the entire electorate in Nigeria as to what constitutes an impeachment, what are the consequences of an impeachment, where and when do you find a man or woman guilty of an offense. And not only that, we know that in our political space, there has been a lot of mudslinging, people making all sorts of unfounded allegations against their opponents. In this judgment, the court has again reaffirmed the hallowed constitutional rule that you do not convict a man unless you have found him guilty after a fair hearing has been offered him.
This is the final court of the country, and they have spoken. The judgment is the law now. And we're happy, even though we lost, because this law must develop. We all know now that impeachment is no longer, you cannot even use it as a factor to disqualify somebody. But of course, they made their point that all our institutions, they must be up and doing. If somebody was impeached, you have to go back. The police, to effect arrest, try that governor in the court of law or tribunals, so that you can now bar him for 10 years from reconstruction. So we are happy with the judgment.
With this judgment, Fayose supporters say the victory is further proof that the governor had a genuine mandate of the people.
We are indeed very happy with the outcome of the judgment. It settled a lot of issues. And firstly, that impeachment is not a ground for disqualification. And also the issue of certificate, that the issue of certificate too, whether he forged the certificate or not, have been settled long ago in the case of AD versus Fayose, and it has become res judicatem. There is an estoppel that have prevented them from raising the issue again, that there was no evidence of any forgery, as this issue had long been settled in an earlier case involving AD and the Governor Fayose.
The post-election case might have been dispensed, but political analysts say Fayose still has more hurdles to cross before his tenure expires, especially with the 19 state legislators bent on removing him from office. But for now, the governor and his supporters can afford to savor the sweet taste of victory at the Supreme Court.
As the Supreme Court upholds the victory of Ayodele Fayose at the June 21st, 2014 governorship election in Ekiti, jubilant crowds led by the governor himself held the city of Ado-Ekiti spellbound in his thank you tour around the state capital. Fayose extends olive branch to all and sundry as he preaches peace across board. Once again, Rashid has more.
As the news of the Supreme Court victory of Ayodele Fayose filters into town, the expectant party went around the major streets of Ado-Ekiti in their numbers to celebrate the governor's victory. The crowd, led by the governor himself, expressed gratitude to the people of the state. Not oblivious of the task ahead and the impeachment crisis engulfing the state, Ayo Fayose extends the olive branch to all and sundry, especially the opposition party.
Ekiti is above all. If truly our democracy is about service, our struggle is about service, it's time for the opposition to sheath their sword. Let us have Ekiti state, Ekiti, that we will have peace. Enough of these bickerings, enough of this division. This is not the only state in Nigeria. I am not the only politician. Even if I've wronged anyone, it is time to forgive me. It is time to give me peace because of Ekiti. I didn't vote for myself. They voted for me. And I'm extending love to them. They should come. This is their state. Rather than fighting me is like fighting the common man. I want everybody, all players, all stakeholders, let us be honorable. Let us allow peace in the state. I have nothing against anybody. I've forgiven everybody, and I want everybody on board. Let's work together in the interest of our state.
To all the PDP stalwarts, the Supreme Court judgment is an affirmation of Fayose's acceptance and a final blow to the opposition.
Before, the threat was heavy. They were threatening us. When they won, we didn't have peace. They threatened impeachment. They did everything, but for God, we now have victory at last.
The victory is concluded. We have gotten the victory. And the first instance, they were in the lower court, we got it. They were in the appeal court, we got it. We are now in the appeal court. And the Supreme Court has also confirmed that PDP has the victory. So what more?
The Ekiti All Progressives Congress, speaking through its publicity secretary Taiwo Olatubosun in a phone chat, though accepts the Supreme Court judgment, but questions the moral standing of Governor Fayose. The battle over the election may be over, but no doubt the state PDP and APC are still in the trenches. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
So here, the All Progressive Congress in Imo State has expressed dissatisfaction over INEC. There's more on this and all the stories to come. Don't go away.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back to the news. You can also reach us on our social media platform, and that's on facebook.com/CoreTV News, on our Twitter handle @CoreTV News NG. For news updates and other programs, you can stream us live on youtube.com/CoreTV with a space and the news. The All Progressive Congress in Imo State has expressed dissatisfaction with the conduct of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in the just concluded gubernatorial and State House of Assembly elections. The Director General APC Campaign Organization and other chieftains in the state disclosed this while addressing newsmen at the Owells Rogers complex along Okigwe Road in Owerri, the state capital. Our correspondent Ajibade Awofeso was there and filed this report.
The APC campaign DG, while delivering his press statement, said the facts on ground are enough to show that the APC candidate has indeed won the election.
Who were supposed to be neutral and umpires. Our first opponent in this election was INEC. They colluded with PDP in virtually all the local governments in Imo State, particularly in Owerri zone and the Bisa area, prevent people from exercising their franchise.
He called on INEC to revisit the entire result, do their arithmetic well, that they will see reason to declare the All Progressive Congress candidate.
We have advantage in total number of vote casts to the tune of 79,000. We have an advantage. We also have geographical spread. We secured more than 25% of the vote cast in more than 2 days of the local governments of Imo State. But we have not been declared the winners of this election.
They, however, consent to the supplementary election if that is what it takes to clear their doubt. But in that case, it should be conducted with all form of transparency to avoid the same menace resurfacing. Ajibade Awofeso, CoreTV News, Owerri.
All has been well from members and supporters accord in Oyo State who have described the outcome of the just concluded governorship polls in the state as a slap on democracy. The governorship candidate of the party, Rashid Ladoja, who came second in the race with 254,520 votes after the incumbent who pulled 327,310 votes, accused the incumbent governor of rigging the elections as he promised to fight his cause even with the last drop of his blood at the election tribunal to gain the mandate he truly deserves. Our correspondent Omotayo Alo has the details.
With all sense of the word no, these residents and chieftains of Accord have expressed in different ways their displeasure at the outcome of the governorship election in the state. They say Ladoja is the change they want in Oyo, just as it was observed at the federal level, stressing that they would not stand and watch being cheated.
No collation was done in Iwajowa local government to warrant somebody writing some, results. We were amazed, but nevertheless, we have reported to the state headquarters of Accord.
The truth will be prevailed. God Almighty is on the throne. Definitely, we are having it back.
To our surprise, we are robbed.
All the supporters say with God on their side, Rashid Ladoja will be pronounced governor of the state, as they urge their members not to take laws into their hands.
Where do they get the force they were counting? They rob us, and God will not allow them to ride on us. We are going to get the government back for Rashid Ladoja. Everything that is taken, we're going to get it back.
On his part, the Accord candidate urges angry and disappointed supporters to keep calm and be assured of getting justice.
Concrete evidence which we are going to present to the tribunal. We will not take laws into our hands. But I want to sound a note of warning, because it has come to my hearing that the government talks have started harassing our people in the markets, in their homes, in the garages. We will not tolerate this one.
With a resolute intention to take the protest to the streets, only the words from their leader made them disperse to their various homes.
Go back to your work. We will continue the fight at this end.
Clearly, supporters of Accord have shown their displeasure to the outcome of the governorship election in the state. While the leader has told them not to take to violence, their cry is that their mandate is restored in Oyo State. CoreTV News, Ibadan.
Senate President David Mark says President Goodluck Jonathan has set a new democratic template for Africa in the eyes of international community. This, he says, is as a result of the manner the president conceded defeat and congratulated President-elect Muhammadu Buhari before final results were announced. The Senate President also congratulated the incoming government, president, and all National Assembly members who are now governors-elect. He said this in a welcome address to senators on resumption from the Easter break and elections.
The maturity and sportsmanship displayed by President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan GCFR, who willingly conceded defeat and immediately congratulated the President-elect General Muhammadu Buhari GCFR, even before the Independent National Electoral Commission announced the result. That singular act saved us from a possible crisis and catastrophe. The President's action added value to the consolidation of democracy in our land. It raised the benchmark of peaceful democratic transition and consequently set a new democratic template in our continent, notorious for her infamous sit-tight leaders. I also extend my warm felicitation to the President-elect, General Muhammadu Buhari GCFR. The President-elect has extended the hand of fellowship to President Jonathan and his team. He has also followed it up with conciliatory statements that further reinforce the unity and peace in our society.
And that's it on the news on the hour. Do join us at the top of the hour for Global News. For me and the news crews, we say many thanks. I am Sabana Izuku, and thank you very much indeed for watching.